While you walk and talk. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man.
I was a couple hours after you at the vegan restaurant,
Yeah.
Modern Vegan. I was there. I came like a couple. He said we had a celebrity in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good food too. I mean, you probably been there a couple times.
I've been there a couple times.
That was my first.
He said that.
Yeah, that's my first.
Waiter.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to stop or you want to walk?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
It's best to do it. I don't want to mess
It's
with
a
it.
catch-22 for me. Because you've been in the ring with Koval, knowing what he's up, but you have business on the other side. Like, how challenging is it for you to tell Canelo and everyone the truth?
Well, I think it gives me the bullseye. But look, Ryan Garcia, this. I know you know him. I'm talking about to the world because they get a chance to see now the coming out party of where his superstar status is going to really hit after this fight Saturday, right? On the zone. So all that Instagram, all that stuff is going to show that he deserves every support and following that he had. So he got to do the work come Saturday. Get some rest, champ.
I like that.
All right, respect.
You gave me motivation right now. I'm about to turn up.
What did you tell Jamal Charlo next about? Because I got 15 emails on that video that you did in the fight.
The stay focused. Listen.
Because Jamal didn't answer it, and then he came back to you.
But let me tell you, and this is who I am because he's not in business with us. But that doesn't mean I'm going to shy myself away from young kings, champions, and men of my community, especially if they ask for my boxing opinion. I got to give him game, and he understands. I recognize, and other fighters also, to stay encouraged, to know your business of boxing and history, and it's a lot of it had to do with being the OG, the respect that most of that generation, with good reasons, don't respect my generation because we haven't earned, most of us haven't earned to even get that from them. And you can take that any way you choose to take it, but for those who they respect, whether it's me or anyone else, which I believe exists, whether it's in boxing or any form of entertainment or business of corporate America, you must realize where you at. You must realize what you got to offer. And that's why I get approached no matter where I go, not just where I live, but where I go, from young kings and young men that's half my age, and I'm 54. And they want to pick my brain and have a conversation even on the fly, even in the movement. To me, that shows that I walked that walk and I was consistent in the ring and out of the ring who I am. And the generation, whether they call them millennials or before or after that, whether a year or two or after or before, they can recognize really what most ain't giving them credit for is game. And that's why I'm approached by a lot of generations, man, even basketball players. Seriously, like, yo, how did you navigate? Because I'm trying to make sure my finances are straighter and growing while I sleep when my career is over. These is basketball players that come to me. I'm like, yo, don't you got an agent? Like, don't you? That's some of their problems. Is everybody in their pocket. I read your mind.
Okay, yeah. How do you handle the shortcomings of Oscar and you being such a prestigious man among us?
I don't know what shortcomings Oscar have, based on what people write, what people say. Because I look at it like this. We live in a society, whether you support or you don't support, whether you wasn't there, whether you was there. But we live in society, good or bad. It's not about what's true. It's about who gets it out first. No matter who it hurts, no matter who it persuades, no matter who it creates, but who gets it out there first, and that's the key. And that's where I look at how information gets really distorted, like it gets really chopped up when it gets to 4 or 5 different people's hands. And so I'll just say, until you are innocent to proven guilty, but it's really guilty until proven innocent. The perception is the opposite of what you've been led through the forefathers and even through the system. Is not necessarily you're innocent to proven guilty. Hold up. It ain't a 40 minutes conversation. But what it is it's facts. Because you are guilty until you prove innocent. Look at that's facts.
I know that, and that's why you've been proven guilty and made it right. That's why your story is so amazing. And do you think that there's a difference from looking at it from 50,000 feet? Black man versus Mexican man versus a white man with the term guilty to proven innocent?
I don't think it has anything to do with color. I think it has something to do with representation.
Explain it.
Representation, you don't know what that is?
Like lawyers, and that's what I'm asking. I don't know.
Representation is the opposite of yourself. Somebody's representing you. If you represent yourself in a way of trying to defend yourself, then you're a fool, and you're a fool in this structured society that we live in. That's why me and you cannot successfully represent ourselves unless we are fools. You must go out and give representation to do what they do. You can add your facts and they'll figure it out from there. You must be aware of the traps. How did I beat the traps?
Multi-millionaire on a billion-dollar network.
But I ain't had to beat the traps. You know what I did? See, I ain't beating the traps because the traps don't exist as long as you live. So you'll never beat the traps. You got to survive the traps. See, even in the ring, the same way I run my life, because I've been out of the penitentiary 30 years without a parking ticket. Right? They still trying to figure out how I pulled that off like it was a heist. Because they know it's uncommon. But why am I not a story based on my personal life? Because if you get a whiff of that, you'd be like, I can be successful too. So why promote something that's unusual that is not normally done in any city? You figure that part out. I know why, but I ain't gonna spend too much conversation on that because it is what it is. Just like in the ring when you don't have a good round and it was a bad round, you learn to survive and then you win. And I injected it into my life. I survive and then I win. Like, questions come at me from all around. And what you say is actually sometimes what you think. Even in this conversation, you ain't the first person to come and ask me about Brother Oscar. But guess what? I know how to answer that because game recognized game, and a lot of athletes in any sport never came from being actually on the streets. They've been sheltered. They've been the 5th or 6th sibling who was guarded by the big family, and they never had the chance to be out there. But I come from a different era and changed my life around. But I never forgot the game part. Isn't the game part is my survival mechanism now? Because to answer the question, see, even you doing your job, ask me a question about my partner. Ask me a question about alleged allegations about him. If I didn't have game and didn't know, I wouldn't be able to not spin it. I wouldn't be able to handle it in a way of not giving you anything other than that's that man's business. But you're his partner. So what?
Y'all been together for about 25 years now.
But
even before the left hook to the body.
But guess what? There's people that have been together and live together and still don't know each other. And I live on the East Coast and he lives on the West Coast. So even though we are partners, he don't know what I do every day. I don't know what he do every day. But it's a level of respect amongst that. I can't speak about nothing that I'm not privileged to. right?
So you would say the same thing about Kobe, innocent until proven guilty.
I always would go by that when it comes to public opinion.
I got you.
Because even if we know that the blood is on the hand and on the gun, the process of going through that is law. I ain't gonna let them use it conveniently when I'm on the other end. I'm not gonna let them use it on the other end when I'm on the other end. So I know how to use the same thing that's been used either against or for you. Is hold up, wait a minute.
So in the hood we call that
Listen.
You know
let me say something. If it was based on perception about what people would say, whether you're guilty or innocent, everybody of color be locked up right now. You won't have a camera in your hand. You still be on that slave boat in 2019.
Are we still on the slave boat? It's a help.
Yo.
You know the landscape of boxing. And,
Listen, you're not on no boat. Where is it at?
Metaphorically speaking. Judicial system, boxing, on the corner of the...
You have a choice today. No, you have a choice today to be out of those, come out of those ignorance or stay on the ignorance. If you want to be on the boat, then by no means go jump on that boat. See, because there's more information now not to be on the boat than less information then to be on the boat. What are you talking about? How old are you? 32?
I'm like you. I got genes like you.
But listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. I am very key. I'm very on point what you say, because words means a lot, and tell me how you're thinking. In 2019, the only reason you might think that you somewhere that you feel that you are there because they was there, because they was forced to be there, and you think that now, that's your state of mind. Because there's so many different things that happen where you got a choice to be on the boat or off the boat. See, everything is about choice right now. And if you don't have knowledge, then you mentally incarcerated and don't want parole. See, you thinking that incarceration is just physically you locked in some cage.
No, that's what I was leading to, metaphorically.
You know how many people dead around here?
That's right. You're going to inspire a lot of people.
I don't want to inspire a lot of people.
I talk about it all the time.
Listen, I don't want to inspire a lot of people. I just want to make sure, see, because I'm not into trying to influence anybody in the world about how I think. It's more or less I say and what I do. So, if this is not free of ignorance, then you're in that cell, but you're just walking around in the cell.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
And these people with suits in corporate America they locked up too, because they ignorant about where they at. They don't even know themselves, and they hide behind things.
How did you
most men got insecurity problems than they try to give it to the women, but most men are more insecure than women. That's why they need a lot of stuff to camouflage. You take it away from them, they don't exist, they only come out. They have anxiety, they have to go and talk to psychology, everything, because they lost what they had because that was their image. You take that away from them, to me, image is part of security or insecurity. A lot of women could tell you. They dumped a lot of dudes because they was insecure. Once they found out, they was like, hold on, wait a minute. They got it wrong. Female, the right woman would tell you, straighten up or I'm gone. Shit, no. They know, but they know more than you think they do. They got to fix everything up. Look at this, look at that, look at my house, look at my car. I got this, I got that. Come on, man. Once they start telling you that, they know for a fact that, wait a minute, take all that away from you. Take all that away from you. How do you feel? You still feel that strong within yourself with nothing? That's the real person. All the other stuff you take, that's a custom.
When you did the 7 years, same personality, just came for a minute. That's what I'm leading to. We gotta get a conclusion to this so people can be inspired. I'm leading down the river of righteousness. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
See, there's nothing wrong with luxury. Just don't let it become your God. There's nothing wrong with nice things. There's nothing wrong with having a positive union with a wife, whether it's a significant other or whether it's somebody that you can bond with and grow from. But if you ain't learning and you're in a stagnant situation, then you dead weight. You a liability. You a liability, man. So you look around. Everybody that's listening to us right now, whatever they do, they look around 2 or 3 people that's around them, and they recognize who's a liability or who's an asset. They'll run. They ain't gonna walk. I guarantee you, these women gonna run. Their shoes gonna be right there, and they're gonna be gone. Once they recognize a liability, I had to learn that. So, you know, I got these. And then I start setting them up. I start doing things. I start saying things that I know is wrong to see. Yeah, that's right, champ. Yeah, that's right, champ. I said, oh, liability.
How do you mediate liabilities and assets between the beef right now between Oscar and Canelo?
Beef? What are you talking about?
He said
He's vegan.
no beef. No,
We don't touch
you're not
beef.
talking about beef. Oh, okay.
We don't touch beef.
You ain't get that what she said?
Yeah, I got it, but I'm trying to keep you.
I'm
on track.
vegan.
I know you. Okay. So you got you.
I don't, like I said, I'm not in Oscar's bit. That's his personal
The difference
opinion.
is the difference.
difference-
I gotta ask the question. I gotta get the answer. That's all.
The difference between Oscar and Canelo is Canelo is red hair. He got a little red in his hair, and Oscar don't.
What does
That's
the
all I
man with no
know.
hair think?
Huh?
What does the man with no hair think? What does the man with no hair think?
That I'm old enough to not have no hair. Shit, my hair fell out when I got 30.
Mine too.
I'm 54 now.
My final question.
But one thing I can say though, they gotta keep it clean. Everything else works.
Yeah.
Everything else works.
Time to go. Thank you.
What do you tell?
Thank
What do you tell? Because you're in a great asset to both. I'm pretty sure you've had private conversations with Sergey.
One more, you.
What would you tell Sergey before he walks up those 3 steps, and what would you tell Canelo before he walks up those 3 steps? If you had the option, if you could do both,
When?
right before the ring,
I said, I'm ready to say.
Yeah.
Right? Been on a great show for history and leave all of it in the ring. So not only your legacy was support that when it's over with, win, lose, or draw, but everybody know you fought like a man, you fought like a gladiator. And that's what people respect.